What's up, friends and fragrance fiends? It's your boy Frag-Jitsu, Johnny here, coming at you guys with a review of CK Obsession EDP. This is made for women, marketed for women, but I think it's the most slept on fumble of all time that they did not market this as a unisex fragrance. This is an amber that just really makes it out of the history books. I think it could go toe to toe with almost every amber fragrance that I've been deep diving into at this current time in my journey. I've checked out all these different amber fragrances, guys, from Rania J through all the way to Mr. MFK himself with Grand Soir and the like. Old school ambery vintage feel to this, but it's got a little bit more than that. Now let's get to the origin story of how I got into this fragrance to begin with. This I never actually looked into myself. My friend, who was not even into fragrances, just happened to have this. I guess he had it from his old time's sake, and he ends up wearing this to my house. Now it's nighttime at this point, and he finally shows up to my house, and I smell him, and I'm like, whoa, this fragrance is coming off of him really strong, and it's the end of the day, and he sprayed just a few sprays in the morning. So this guy really had gone through a full day of wear in the middle of summer, came to my house, and this was still radiating off of him. And I was so impressed with the smell. The smell that I got off of him, guys, when he came over was an intense barbershop experience like I'd never smelled before, but totally taken away and sandwiched with this other style of like this powdery soapy undertone. Really, really great. Excellent smell off of that late dry down. So I decided to get a bottle. Now there is an opening, there is a mid, and there is a dry down. And the opening comes off a little bit, guys. You got to put up with the opening just for a bit. I happen to really love it, but I see how a lot of people out there might be turned off by the opening. I get this really fresh, spicy, green, herbal style of opening, but everything starts to reveal itself and it comes apart and kind of gets gooier over time. I occasionally get a whip of the same amber that's in Grand Soir. I get this really strong body of musky, woody, fresh, barbershop feel, but interwoven with one of the best ambers in the game and one of the best animalic touches in the game. I would say if I had to compare this to a fragrance company that would make this now, it reminds me of the zoologist fragrances quite a bit. In the way that they kind of trick you with all these different notes, and they balance all this hectic kind of helter-skelter of all these different notes to give you this imagery. This one, it fails to have any imagery on it, but I feel like it could be a fragrance that has some kind of animal made by zoologists. This reminds me of that same quality level, although they might do this a little bit more scaled back and a little bit more deliberate. This one right here, though, guys, is a reformulated shadow of its former self. I've never smelled the vintage batch, but this is a reformulated batch of the Obsession EDP for women. Now, I think, again, I say that this is a huge fumble by the company to market this only for women, because guys like me find this, and it's one of my favorites. When it comes to compliments, I used to wear this like crazy out into my day job, real world kind of jobs before my job switched up. And I'm telling you, this one was one of the most complimented ones I've ever had. I had people always be reminded of something. So it did give people a nostalgic feel, but they couldn't put their finger on exactly what it was it reminded them of. So a lot of people did say it just immediately smelled so nice. And I think that the layers on this are so complex, but really well balanced, that it's a great fragrance from bottom to top, in and out. Like, people can't really pin down exactly what this is, and I can't really pin it down either. I can't say it's a barbershop fragrance, but it has barbershop elements. I can't even say this is just an amber fragrance because of all the other elements that it has. It's an ambery, woody, musky, fresh, floral, old school style. Like it nods its head to the old school style, but it doesn't fully commit to those stanky, vintage, animalic kind of slap around fragrances that the women used to really want and wear. This still has that attitude in it, but it has this refined, slightly challenging, but only so slightly, and it's so easy to wear. The thing with this too is that its performance is just really rock star performance. I'm talking strong, I'm talking long lasting. Those are two very important words for me. If I buy a fragrance, strong and long lasting is a great thing for me to hear. Now, this fragrance, let's tell you how much this cost. Less than $20, okay? I can't believe it. This thing is flying so under the radar, and people are just really out there. They should appreciate that they even have something like this out there under the $20 mark. It's gonna fly under the radar. And I feel like niche heads, those guys who really like your expensive, elaborate, story-driven purchases, this one fly right under your nose. And if it was in a different bottle with a different story, I guarantee you'd be raving about it. This is a great fragrance by all metrics. It is awesome. Now, recommendability, I have to give it an 8. That is a 4 out of 5 or an 8 out of 10, because there's going to be a lot of people who won't like this. But I'm telling you, I smelled this off someone who wasn't even into fragrance, and everyone around him loved it. And then when I started wearing it, everyone around me loved it. I don't know if you would want to own this, but it is a cheap, speculative, easy thing to get. And it's just a timeless classic in my opinion. It's something that everyone should take a look at. And hopefully this video really kind of turns your eyes onto this thing, because it is definitely flying under the radar and it's definitely slept on in this community. Especially you niche heads out there, you guys are going to love this. If you love amber fragrances, go for it. If you like a amber hybrid kind of barbershop-y mix, this is really it for you. It's really awesome, and it has a little tiny bit of this animalic. Maybe now it's a fake civet, but there's something animalic, and it has this clean and dirty element just combined really well. So guys, that's all I have to say about Obsession EDP. Really glad to have this one. For me personally, this is one of my top 10s. I love this fragrance, especially for the $20 mark. That's just ridiculous to me. This does it all. This could be a one fragrance for all seasons kind of thing for me. I mean, after I got this, I was like, well, how do I follow this one up? $20, and you can take all those clones and shove them, because this one is way better than all those. That's all I got today. Peace.